Okay, welcome everyone. It's late in MiniDebConf Toulouse, Capitale du Libre, and Salvo Tomaselli is going to talk about PyPI. Thank you. Round of applause, please.
Thank you. Hello. Actually, I just found out now how it is pronounced. I've been saying PyPI for all of my life, confusing with the other PyPI, of course. But I'm talking about the repository. So I will probably keep saying PyPI because that's how I've been saying until now. If I remember, I will say PyPI as I'm very opinionated. I think myself as a troll. So if you disagree with my opinions, feel free. There's some facts here and there, so you might want to agree with those at least, but feel free to disagree with anything else. I made a slide about myself because I feel very important. So I've done some great achievements in my life. I found a security bug in Internet Explorer, and I managed to steal cookies from a website. Microsoft said, no, it's fine like this. It should be like this. So I could, you got a pop-up like, oh, is this safe? This is not safe. Are you sure you want to load it? Yes or no? But it loaded before asking. Yeah. I got banned from an all-you-can-eat place for eating too much, not for nothing strange. And I can play and sing a whole song or a couple while on one foot. So if anything can top me, I will, I don't know, feel diminished. To be more serious, my first package in Debian got in 2009. I'm interested in Linux on mobile. I used the PinePhone as a main phone for a short while, but my interest is more in application side. So I've been packaging applications and writing ones. I also am involved with Python, partly as a personal interest and partly as a work thing. And I would like to have some more Sicilian in Debian. Right now there's only one package that is the Sicilian Fortunes. And there is pending the language files for a little game that I've been in new for, I don't know, months. Yeah, anyways, let's move on to the real topic of my talk. Basically, when I started to use Python, my project was a relational algebra compiler. I didn't know PyPI existed at all. So my experience was you get stuff from Debian. That's all. Like, there's Debian, and then there's the internet. So like some guy's homepage or SourceForge back then, or GitHub or whatever. I didn't know PyPI existed. Yeah, and for example, once I needed a Python package to make the colors, like RGB colors on the terminal, and I packaged it because like, okay, I need this thing in Debian, so I should make it go there. And for me, that was the way. Like, I didn't even question how things were. One day I got a job. I finished university, I went to work, and there I found out that there's other things about that are not Linux distributions. It was terrible actually because they were even doing like auto-scaling, and it took like about 30 minutes to boot up a machine and download everything from PyPI because they were downloading everything every time. Anyways, at my job, I forced them to stop using PyPI and use the Debian packages. And this has been good for licensing, oddly, because we publish our server image on Google Cloud, and they say that if you use whatever from distribution, then it's fine. But if you include anything else, then you need to provide licensing information. So my team didn't have to provide anything because we just used deb packages. And yeah, then it was no extra job for me, and those guys using Go, they had to work a lot for their scenes. Yeah, so PyPI, sorry, as a user, before 2018, it allowed signing things. And it allowed users to publish a public key, which has some utility, but limited in the sense that if you hack the user and replace the key, then it's useless. But you can know if the key got replaced. And then it was just checking the short ID from the keys. And the clients were not checking anything. So it was, so it is claimed that no one was using it, but I actually have no idea if someone had some tools to check it or not. Anyways, that was the previous PyPI implementation, but then they re-implemented it completely, like with a new software, where signatures got hidden and public keys stopped existing there. So then you needed project by project to know a way to find the key. So if there was someone using some tool to check the signatures, then the tool became useless because then you needed to know where to find the public key. At some point, I released my first Python library. And I released it on, it is in Debian, and also on PyPI. Because I thought, okay, it's a library, it should be there, so others can use it. Then nothing happened for a while, and then Python said that the critical projects, they must use second factor authentication. And I hate it. Like, I mean, it's more secure, but I don't care about security. I mean, I work with security, it is my job, but I only want second factor authentication for my bank. That's it. You know, like LinkedIn, Facebook, email, I don't care. You want to hack me? Okay, I will get a new account, no problem. I mean, for me, it would be easier. Anyways, I thought, okay, poor those guys who have critical projects that other people use, and they will have to do this extra job with, you know, doing the second factor to publish and so on. But so my project is I don't know if you can see that, there is a very thin line there. This is a download counter. These two projects, they do the same exact thing, but one is more popular than mine. So I felt very safe about the second factor authentication. Like, okay, it's going to fly very high over my head. No, it doesn't concern me at all. I download a good metrics of popularity. As we know here with dealing with popcorn, I would say they are not. I made a little side project from this talk, so I became in the top 20 of most popular Python projects, and then I got an email saying, carry it out or we ban you, because you're abusing our terms of use. So I mean, this project was very fun to make, because my first iteration was like, oh, just use pip and a bash loop and download the same thing over and over. And it doesn't count because it caches locally. So, okay, I made a RAM file system. I delete and re-download, delete. It's very slow. It doesn't work. Don't do like that. It's terrible. But then, okay, I use curl in a loop. Slightly better, but still slow. Then I made it in Python. Then I made one packet in Python where I send just tens of thousands of requests in one packet. Then it's fast. Unfortunately, the replies are really slow. So you need time to get all this data that you don't want. You're just going to throw it away. But HTTP has a nice header, which is the range header. So you don't need to get like your whole packet. You don't care about the packet. You just want to think that you got the packet. So he only asked for 1 byte. And that is how I got, I mean, it takes me like 20 minutes to do like that, to do like 15 million downloads in a home connection, nothing special. I'm not the CERN or anything. Yeah, so I actually think this is very gamed because the previous popular project from before, it's now a startup. So it got with companies and so on, and they hired developers. So I think this popularity thing is, there's some conflict of interest there. I mean, and I'm sure they know, because I'm still using this for my library. They haven't said anything, or they keep counting. They know it all comes from one IP every day at the same time. It's like 14 million requests for 20 minutes, and then it stops. But yeah, they keep counting, and okay, so I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who thought about this, but maybe the first who thought to make a project. The project still exists, but it's not on PyPI anymore, but on Codeberry or Codeberg. You can get it from there if you are interested in becoming popular. But what are the metrics to decide what is an important project? And my answer is I have no idea. Because all of these things can be gamed. Number of commits, yeah, you can just do delete and add the same line a million times, and you can just create fake identities in the commit header. And stars, GitHub stars are also a thing, and you can buy them. So there's fake accounts. I don't know if you use GitHub. I stopped, but I still have to use it for work. But I get stars from like accounts which have no projects, nothing, no activity. And they're fake accounts that also put stars in other places, so they confuse the recognition algorithms. Another way to possibly find out which project is important would be reverse dependencies. But in my experience, I mean, there's some websites that should do this, but in my experience, they don't work. Like, I published projects that use that project, but that project is marked as having no reverse dependencies. So, I don't know. Maybe I didn't use the correct syntax that they expect I should be using. Anyways, I mean, it could make sense, like especially for a library, for a client project or like a leaf packet, then it wouldn't make any sense to. But yeah, I mean, if it gets improved, maybe it's a good way at least. Anyways, to make sure that my project remained very unpopular, I put this in my contributing. I never actually received any patch as an email. I tried my best, but yeah, it never happened. But I didn't stop there. I put this as a license on a library. And I got many bug reports telling me, like, you're stupid, what are you doing? This is, you use an MIT license. Why are you using this? Yeah, I want to use this. What's your problem? Then I put a code of conduct which forbids to call me stupid for using GPL. So I can just ban you if you complain, because people were doing that. And the USA thing is unrelated to another project, but Americans tend to not like it, even though I think it's very fair. Like, it doesn't say like Americans are less special. It just says like they are equal. They don't like it. I don't know. Anyways, my project became critical. Despite all of my effort to make it like no one should use ever my project, it became critical. And this was before I invented the automatic downloader thing. So someone else must have downloaded it a million times on their own, but it wasn't me. So I had to personally deal with all of this authentication and security things. And so to sweeten the deal, they made a token giveaway. So they were giving these USB tokens that you have to press. The thing is that I live in Sweden, and they've delivered in many countries in Europe except Sweden. But of course I'm Italian, so I got it delivered in Italy. So at least that's a photo of the tokens that I received. I think Google paid for them. Personally, I think they are very annoying to use. And of course, if it's for my bank, I am very willing to go through, difficulties. But otherwise, I find it very annoying. The thing is that I use FireJail. So FireJail, by default, doesn't allow USB access. So in the beginning, I thought this doesn't work on Linux. Maybe it's only Windows supported, I don't know. But actually, they do work. It's just that I needed to change some rules there. And then you're supposed, because they give you two, so it's safe. But you're supposed to keep them separate. So if your house burns, then you only lose one, but the other one, you still have it. But you also need them both together, because every time you enroll a new website, you also need both. So you cannot just put it somewhere, I give it to my friend who lives in Spain or something. No, I need both of them at hand. So it's a bit complicated. I don't know, but I still have both of them. I haven't, and they still work. Or you can use OTP, which I think most people use from the phone. So phones break, or at least mine do, a lot. And until recently, I mean, of course, there is a million ways to do this, but the, let's say, normal person way would be to use Google Authenticator. Until recently, you couldn't back it up. Now you can back it up, but then Google has it also. So I don't know which one is, before, without backup was more secure, but then you break your phone and it's gone. And you need to rescue your account somehow. And you're supposed to print these codes, like these rescue codes, print it and keep it in a safe place. So I don't know how organized you are, but I am not. So first of all, I don't own a printer. So to print them, I have to go to the library. And it's a public network. I don't know. Is someone reading whatever I'm sending to the printer? I don't know. Maybe it's not that secure. Anyways, probably not. But then I would lose the piece of paper or the text file wherever I save them. I think I have no chance of finding it whenever I need it, like maybe 10 years later. And then you can ask PyPI staff to recover your account, but it takes months for them to do so. And if you have printed the rescue codes, then I know this because they have public issues about this, so you can see the conversation happening. So normally between opening and resolution, it's 1 to 4 months. And then, but if they see that you have printed the codes or you have downloaded the codes, then they will not rescue the account because they say oh no, maybe you're trying to hijack someone else's account, so we don't touch it. And once this happens, your project is gone. It's forever there. No one else can get it. It will not be deleted. It is just there, stuck forever. So you can just fork your own project with a different name. Of course, I put everything in my password manager on my machine. So the second factor authentication is in my same first factor authentication. Anyways, my fear about this was that I actually had to do the second factor authentication to do the upload, so that I needed to carry physically this USB thing and put it in and press it whenever I wanted to do an upload. But that's not how it works at all. Basically, you generate a token. So you go on the PyPI website, generate a token, save it in a text file, and that's it. Forget about your token. You can throw it away. You don't need it anymore. Just don't lose your token. So in theory, because you can get a fully scoped token, but in theory you should not use them because it's insecure. So what you're supposed to do is that get a fully scoped token because it's the only way to upload something. Then upload something, then destroy the token and create a new token that is only valid for that project. But I suspect no one does it, and people just generate one token and keep using it forever. Then since May 23, signatures are discarded. So if you upload a signature, you get an angry email saying, stop doing that. Don't stop signing your stuff. In the more or less same time, they made trusted publishers, which means that that you can compile your project on GitHub mostly and upload it from there, and then you don't have to generate the token, and you don't need the global token. If you upload it from GitHub, then you can just create the project from GitHub. You don't need the dance with the global token for some reason. Some nice compromises have happened recently, or in this same time span. So PyTorch got compromised twice. Once because they were using their own runners. So if you opened a PR to them, you could leave a process running forever on the runner, and then it would intercept the secrets when it was used again, the same runner to publish, for example. And then because someone published a package on the real PyPI, with the same name as a packet that they were using in their own PyPI, but the real PyPI has a priority. So, and the packet was the same, but it contained stuff to steal all the credentials from the home of the user. Also, the administrator of PyPI published this on global token by mistake on Docker Hub. So for a while it was possible to just go and write whatever you want on whichever packet in PyPI. But this got found out very soon, apparently. Anyways, I mean, to me it looks like we're doing a lot of effort into securing things, and then we allow global tokens to keep existing, especially administrator global tokens to keep existing. And I mean, if we count the amount of hours spent in the security, I think could have been better spent into doing other things. Recently, they introduced attestation, which, so this was this week. So it means that instead of signing, now GitHub signs for you. So it's signed in the way that, yes, it's coming from GitHub, and it's signed. To go towards the end of my talk, so PGP is not popular, so they removed it. And second factor authentication is now very popular because it is compulsory. But I would like to know how popular it was, and if it was more popular than PGP before. It was compulsory because, I mean, if we make it compulsory, then everyone is using it. Okay, but is that really a surprise? And anyways, so we still are relying on a file on the disk to authenticate. Because first, I mean, with second factor authentication, you rely on having the token on your disk, which you need. But if you say, no, we do trusted authentication, then okay, we don't need that token, but you still need your SSH key or GitHub token to upload to GitHub. So in a way, it's like similar. Because, I mean, if my machine gets stolen and my token is there, like you have the token, whichever kind of sort of token and how many jumps it takes. But so I think they're calling it security, but what they want to do is actually more towards authentication. So I have a conspiracy theory here, but you are very free to disagree with this. This is all my sick mind thinking of that. So I think that basically they want to slowly, towards the years, push people to just push code using GitHub or other companies like that. And then Microsoft can take care of banning Russian guys, for example, as they've done already. And then when you download code from PyPI, then you say, okay, I know there is no Russians because they are banned from GitHub, and we trust Microsoft to do this job. And so me, American company, can freely use whatever I download from PyPI because there is no Russian guys. And there is all this SBOM thing and so on, so they can... you know what is SBOM? Does everyone know? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's geared in that direction of securing government, not government contract, but like that if you have a government contract, you can keep using PyPI and keep doing whatever you want, and know that Microsoft, with all the resources, is on it to ban whomever the government is saying that must be banned. That united to the fact that hipsters really hate PGP, so I think also this is a very important goal for some people to get rid of PGP forever and be done with it. So I have a quote here from a fellow Debian developer and troll. You might read it on your own. I mean, I agree with this. Once in a while, I agree with him. That I think distributions still have a place in the world, even though, because all of this, it's like, okay, we're doing all this effort to authenticate people, but no one is checking what the code is. I mean, I am still very free to go there and publish a virus on PyPI, and no one is checking. But it's very like, yes, all the steps are authenticated. You have second factor authentication, and the file went from there to there. Also, they have no way to do reproducible builds. So you can have like, okay, I uploaded from this commit, and then in my build there was a curl pipe shell, and then you have no way like, okay, what happened here in the middle from this source and this binary? Because you can use the network while doing the builds. So, yeah, I don't know. To me, it feels very performative security rather than actual security. Yeah, I don't know. Feel free to have your own opinions. I'm done with the talk. If you have comments or questions, or feel free.
One minute for one question about PyPI security, two-factor authorization.
You are the wrong crowd. I thought everyone would disagree with me, and I said, "Oh, you're an idiot. Why?
Looks like we have
terrible."
Lots of people seem very happy. Thank you. Yeah. Ben.
PGP is all very well and good, but every time I try to use GPG on the command line, I hate it. I have to look at the manual page. It's completely unusable.
Okay, maybe you should use a graphical interface.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think we are out of time. We have still one last talk from the DPL, and before the closing ceremony. See you soon in 5 or something, 10 minus. Oh, today's fine. Thank you.